What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Robski. It is August 31st, 2024, and I'm coming at you at yet another book review because I just finished yet another Stephen King book. And I get a lot of hits doing book reviews, so I'm going to go ahead and do one for you. Just to let you know, I am in Texas doing a job with heavy equipment operation, so I'm learning a few new skills. Okay, so today we're going to do a book review on another Stephen King book, and this one is called Desperation. Okay, this one clocks in at around 700 pages, and for me, I give this a high rating. This was actually kind of an underrated novel, in my opinion. It's not as good as Talisman or It or The Stand, but it's right up there. I would say it's definitely in its top, 15. I liked it better than the Buick 8. This is a good one. So let me lay out this premise for you. Again, it comes in at 700 pages. Basically, it starts off, there's this couple, Mary and her boyfriend, and they are driving along the Nevada desert. They come to this town called Desperation, and they get pulled over by this cop named Collie Estragian. Kind of a unique name. Now, this cop comes up and he has kind of a different sense to him. He's not quite, human. He kind of has a different vibe to him. Comes up making small talk, pulls him over. The driver thought that he was speeding. His name was Paul, and Paul thought he was speeding, and it wasn't the case. He had a license plate missing in the back of his car. So the cop, Estragian, pulls him over. He's like 6'7". He's a huge guy, very intimidating. And he comes up to the couple and he talks to him, and he tells them to step out of the car. They were afraid that they were going in for speeding, and he just says, "Oh, hey, look, you're missing a sign in the back. You're missing a license plate number." So a couple thought they were going to be fine. However, the cop planted a bag of marijuana that actually wasn't theirs, but he did this to give him an excuse to take him in. So he takes him into this town called Desperation. He shoots Paul, and he imprisons Mary. Mary meets these characters, Tom Billingsley, Ellen and Ralph Carver, David Carver, who's a young boy, and eventually she puts up a fight because she knows that it's not like a legitimate arrest, a legitimate cop. The cop, she tries to fire a shotgun at him. She puts away the shotgun. The cop puts her in jail. So we didn't get it done. Okay, so next character comes in. There's a writer named Johnny Marinville, and he's kind of a famous writer. As Stephen King, it makes sense because, Stephen King's a famous writer. Well, one of his main characters in this is a famous writer. So he's riding a motorcycle. Turns out that he's doing a story for a new book. He wants to ride across America, do his experiences, and then put it down in a book. So the cop pulls him over again and then plants illicit marijuana in his motorcycle, beats the heck out of Marineville, trashes his bike, takes him to jail. Same thing. So they're not quite sure what's going on, but Marineville goes to these characters. They can't, they're not understanding why they're getting taken to jail. So he calls his assistant, Steve Ames, who picks up a hitchhiker named Cynthia. They can barely make out his call, but they finally, get an idea where he's at. So Steve and Cynthia go after him. Okay, so we have the premise. We got a psychopathic cop, and he's putting people in jail that aren't supposed to be there, and there we go. Okay. Turns out they find out, according to Tom Billingsley, that this cop was actually really nice before, and this cop grew 3 to 4 inches naturally. This cop is hemorrhaging, so he's bleeding all over the place. And it turns out that this cop is possessed by a demon named Tak, T-A-K. So every now and then this cop will go like Tack, I'm going to put you in jail. Tack, I'm going to kill you. Tack. He says this language they don't understand. So they find out this cop isn't actually Kali Estragan. It's a demon monster named Tack who possesses bodies, because that's just what it does. That's how it survives. This demon's lair is in this thing called a China pit. The reason why they call it China pit is because they did mining operations. They had a lot of Chinese in there. They were treated bad. They were beaten, all that, and then this demon possessed one of the Chinese people, and the demon has to go and keep possessing people to stay alive. Okay. So, anyways, this gang gets together. David Carver, who's the son of Ralph and Ellen Carver, who is probably one of the most important characters in this book, because he's very close to God. He's able to escape the prison by lathering up in soap and then going through the door. There was a guard coyote that David ends up shooting. And so they figure all this out. The demon figures this out. And by the way, this demon Tack possesses ways to speak to coyotes, buzzards, spiders, scorpions, and snakes. And so that's kind of how it sees, kind of like a Randall Flagg type where they can possess other predatory animals. So Tack knows that they escaped. Tack goes and captures Ellen Carver, takes her to the China pit, and then Tack goes from the big cop who she just leaves to rot, to Ellen Carver. Long story short, all these characters are in the town. They're arguing. Marionville wants to leave early, but they team up. They get to know each other, and they're trying to see what they do about Tack. Ellen Carver gets possessed by Tack, and she captures Mary. Mary goes to the China pit, is trapped in there. But anyways, they find Mary. Mary escapes. And then they team up together, and yeah, that's it. I'm not going to spoil the ending. I just want to give you guys a premise because I want you guys to read the book. But overall, I would give it, I'd say I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. It's a solid Stephen King book. I like the main characters. I really like Steve Ames. I like David Carver. I like Tack as a villain, because Tack is kind of not necessarily a human villain, but makes human villains. And I just kind of like the premise. They do a backstory. I've been through Nevada. I drove through Nevada to get to Vegas. Some of those towns are a little creepy, a little shady. So I like it. So again, where is it here? Desperation. I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. It is definitely a must read. It has a great villain, great backstory. Read this book. Kern's out.